Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm commenting on the Leeds riot of a few days ago. So Leeds is the major city in Yorkshire, so one of the biggest cities in Northern England. And a few days ago, about 5 o'clock in the evening, police officers went to Luxor Street in the Hare Hills district of Leeds, and they said there was a disturbance in progress there. So some social workers had gone there to, as I understand it, to take two children into care. There was a little boy and his baby. It was a sister brother. Now, I'm not absolutely sure this account is correct, but the young child had been left in sole charge of the baby, had dropped the baby, blah, blah, blah. So they were being taken away, but some people were resisting this. Um, and some people said, no, you mustn't take them away. So West Yorkshire Police had to go because there was a threat of serious disorder. However, this seemed to aggravate the situation. Now, social workers obviously legally entitled to take children into care under certain circumstances. They've got to try and make the right decision. They sometimes make the wrong one because they face contradictory accounts of things. Social workers have said to me, this is not something they do lightly. They're reluctant, that the threshold is set quite high. We don't want children being taken away from their parents willy-nilly, and often takes months, very difficult for the parents to get them back. Social workers are just sort of overwhelmed with cases. They can't deal with them all. They can't investigate them all. On the other hand, you don't want to leave a child with seriously abusive parents. I remember a school I was teaching it years ago. We had these confidential files on one of the pupils, and one of the pupils, one of the probably best behaved ones in the school, she'd been slapped by her mother over supposedly some slightly impudent remark. And the social services were informed, but the child, she was not taken away from her mother. She was 13 at the time. So social services, they've got difficult decisions to make, and inevitably they get it wrong sometimes. And obviously, no parent wants his or her child to be taken away, and that seems to be a terrible insult to the parent, saying that he or she is unfit to raise this child. Now, the family involved, as I understand it, were Romanian gypsies. Now, in the gypsy community, family is everything. You might say, but my family matters to me. No, 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 no. Often there's a whole different level. And family just doesn't mean the nuclear family or even the grandparents or the uncles, aunts, and first cousins. It's not just your cousin German, your second cousin, your third cousin, multiple generations under one roof, and they know who their extended family are. And divorce is very, very unusual. People get married very young. Even though you have one child, that's it. They often believe that marriage is for life. So to take the child away from the parents, the family find that a gross insult, even worse than non-Roma people would do. And so there was communal solidarity, and some people came onto the streets to demonstrate. But unfortunately, demonstration turned into riot, and there were some attacks on the police. I don't think the police were actually injured. So a police car had its windows smashed, and it was turned over. A double-decker bus was set on light, and so on. Now, I don't know whether the Child Protective Services, whatever, made the right decision or not. But I do know that vandalizing public property is definitely a crime. Even if social services were wrong to take these children away, it was still completely unjustified to burn a bus, to smash the windows of a police car, any of these acts of wild disorder. So the mayor of West Yorkshire, Tracy Brabham, says that she's horrified by what's going on, and the Leeds City Council chief. Anyway, so we don't want to besmirch the reputation of Leeds or Hare Hills, also to suggest that Romanians and or Gypsies are particularly likely to do this. No ethnicity, no nationality is responsible for this. Is individuals. Mustn't demonize people of any ethnic group, minority, majority, whoever. Is nationalities, ethnicities, religions cannot be bad. Is only individuals can be bad. So it's obviously deeply unhelpful to suggest otherwise, and it causes disharmonious communal relations. So Nigel Farage was in the United States when this happened. He appears to have got a garbled account of it, and in ignorance of the real situation, he wrote back. He should have apprised himself of the facts before he mouthed off on this one, saying the politics of the subcontinent were playing out on the streets of the United Kingdom, and don't say I didn't warn you. Well, this seems to be nothing remotely connected to South Asia. The subcontinent is understood to mean India and its immediate neighbors like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, perhaps, where the people involved, I don't know if they're British citizens or not, but originally come from Romania, so it appears. And no one should be denigrated for his or her nationality. Got strong connections to Romania? Absolutely not. anti-Romanian. And perhaps the family had done nothing wrong. The parents might have been outstanding. Maybe the social workers were exceeding their authority. They might have been the wrong. I don't know. And I actually don't know the nationality of those who vandalized the police car and the bus. It could have been any nationality. It makes absolutely no difference to my opinion of how bad a thing it is to do. I only blame the handful of people who did that. And there might have been permissible demonstrations. People might are angry, possibly justifiably angry, about the children being taken away. And it's an undoubted right to agitate upon public grievances, to stand in a public place, to sing songs, to chant slogans, to show placards, to express their discontent, but not to commit any act of vandalism. So this is kind of difficult for some of the child protective services workers, the social workers, and so on. So some politicians have said, could please things be tranquil and want a return to docility. Some local councillors trying to put themselves in between the police and those who are furious with them. So the police federation has denounced what's gone on. So there's more of a heavy police presence. That's why, like supermarkets like Morris in the area were closed. Is that the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves, she represents a constituency in Leeds, but it seems to have returned to an uneasy calm around then. Wow. So what a difficult situation. And what the public really does not need is someone like Nigel Farage fueling the flames. What he said is likely to exacerbate intercommunal asperities. So tensions should not be raised, should surely be de-escalated. So need a detente. And what he said appears to be blaming people of a certain ethno-religious group, or maybe two groups. And no group is to blame, only individuals are surely responsible for these shameful scenes that played out on the streets of West Yorkshire. Anyway, it might be returning to docility. We shall see. Eventually, some sort of judgment will be made. Were the social workers right to take these children to care, or wrong? I really don't know. But apparently, even if nobody's convicted of anything, parents being negligent or abusive or whatever, nevertheless, the children can still stay in care for months, perhaps years. So perhaps we've given too much power to sometimes power-happy social workers. And perhaps some people go into this with the noblest of motives, and no decent person would want a child to be abused and neglected. Obviously, social workers have got to be hesitant about taking away children because, even bad parents are usually better than being in care. However, care is better than absolutely horrific parents, which I'm sad to say a very few parents are. So I think the great majority of parents are trying to be decent parents, and it's the most difficult thing a person can possibly do. Impossible to always get it right. And you can be an outstanding parent and the children turn out badly, or you can be a terrible parent and the children might turn out well. But it's more likely that good parents will produce happy children with good outcomes. Well, we shall see. So my message to people of Leeds: please stay calm. Don't do any harm to anyone else. Yeah, you demonstrate. I wouldn't object to that, but please don't damage any public property, and please do not say anything which is likely to cause disaffection or likely to cause odium towards people of any ethno-religious community. Goodbye.